the early 1960s, American pop stars ruled the charts, television, and teenage bedrooms across the country. Solo idols dominated radio, harmony groups shaped rock and roll, and everything felt firmly in America's control.
Your kind of loving is my kind of loving, my kind of love.
Then, 4 young musicians from Liverpool arrived, and almost overnight, the balance of power shifted. Record sales dropped, radio playlists changed, fan loyalty flipped.
Surely the things I ask can't be too great.
But were these American stars truly destroyed, or simply overwhelmed by a cultural tidal wave no one saw coming? Today, we're counting down 12 American stars the Beatles destroyed overnight. Number 1. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Before the British invasion, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons were unstoppable. They stacked chart-topping hits and rivaled any act in America. Their harmonies were tight, their falsetto unforgettable, and their popularity massive. Then, Beatlemania exploded. Suddenly, the spotlight shifted to self-contained bands, writing their own material with a fresh British edge. The Four Seasons saw their dominance crack almost immediately. Unlike most on this list, they eventually reinvented themselves. But in that first wave of 1964, even they felt the ground collapse beneath them. From rare survivors, we move to pioneers who inspired the very band that replaced them. Number 2. The Everly Brothers.
In a hurry, dear. The same.
The Everly Brothers were harmony pioneers whose influence stretched across rock and roll, country, and early pop.
But we both know it's a lie. You need me like Garbo needs pictures.
Their close vocal blend became a blueprint for countless musicians. In fact, John Lennon and Paul McCartney openly admired and studied their style while shaping the early sound of their own band.
Here he comes, that scat.
But when British groups brought those harmonies back with sharper guitars and a new youthful urgency, American audiences gravitated toward the fresh version. The Everly Brothers suddenly felt connected to a previous chapter of rock history.
Right back to me this minute. Bring your love.
Their legacy remained enormous, yet their chart dominance faded as the British invasion took control of radio and television. From harmony trailblazers, we now move to a television-born superstar who once made chart history.
Your kind of loving is my kind of loving, my kind of love.
Number 3. Ricky Nelson.
I've a pretty senorita waiting for me.
Ricky Nelson was more than a recording artist. He was a national television star who successfully crossed into the rock and roll world at a time when that crossover was rare. He became the first artist ever to top the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
People came from miles around, everyone.
Cementing his place in American music history. His clean-cut image and steady stream of hits made him one of the safest bets in early 60s pop. But when the Beatles appeared on American television in 1964, youth culture shifted almost instantly. Nelson's polished style suddenly felt restrained compared to the electric excitement of British bands, and his chart dominance began to slip.
Over in the corner, much to my surprise.
Up next is one of the most successful female vocalists America had ever produced.
That I meet and the children.
Number 4. Connie Francis.
Que jour, nous pourrions plus.
Connie Francis dominated the early 60s. She sold millions of records, crossed into international markets, and became one of the defining female voices of her era.
The last thing you can do.
At her peak, she was nearly unstoppable. Then the British invasion reshaped radio formats almost overnight.
And it cost me.
Guitar-driven bands pushed dramatic solo vocalists to the sidelines. Her chart presence declined sharply as the industry pivoted toward a new sound and a new image of youth culture. Are you enjoying this video? If you are, please hit the like button. I'd sincerely appreciate it.
That's America to me.
Next is a hitmaker who had to rebuild his career outside the United States. Number 5. Neil Sedaka.
When it came to a superstar, Jenny was a ragger.
Neil Sedaka was one of the most consistent hitmakers of the early 60s. As both a songwriter and performer, he had an instinct for melody that connected instantly with young American audiences.
I feel the warmth of her hand in mine.
His piano-driven pop sound represented the polished craftsmanship that defined pre-invasion radio. But when British bands captured the spotlight,
Don't ever leave me. Say you'll never go.
Sedaka's style struggled to compete with the louder, guitar-centered energy that suddenly dominated youth culture. His American chart success cooled rapidly during the mid-60s.
After a while, we run under a train.
In a surprising twist, he rebuilt his career overseas before eventually staging a major comeback years later, proving how dramatically the landscape had shifted. Next, we turn to the girl group pioneers, whose influence helped shape the revolution that replaced them. Number 6. The Shirelles.
Tomorrow is his wedding day, and you'll keep quiet if you're smart.
The Shirelles were pioneers. As one of the first successful all-female groups of the rock and roll era, they helped define the girl group sound that dominated the early 60s.
Will you still love me tomorrow?
Their harmonies and emotional delivery influenced countless artists on both sides of the Atlantic. Ironically, British bands absorbed that blueprint and brought it back with louder guitars and a new edge.
Well, I don't know. That I don't know right now.
As the British invasion surged, girl groups lost ground on radio playlists. The Shirelles' influence remained undeniable, but their time at the top faded quickly as the spotlight shifted overseas.
Oh, you foolish little girl, little girl, you just
From girl group innovators, we move to a streetwise rocker who once ruled the charts.
I fell in love and my love still grows. Asking a fool like she ever knew.
Number 7. Dion DiMucci.
I could talk all night till I'm blue in the face.
Dion DiMucci brought attitude and edge to early rock and roll. With his blend of doo-wop roots and solo swagger,
A lot of people it seems that they die young.
he stood apart from the typical clean-cut teen idol image. He was cool, confident, and unmistakably American.
Having people with beautiful faces.
But when the Beatles and other British bands took over youth culture, the focus shifted from solo male vocalists to self-contained groups. Dion's style began to feel connected to an earlier wave of rock and roll. Though he continued recording, his dominance during the pre-invasion era never fully returned.
What could I have done in my mind?
Oh, by the way, I will be posting more videos like this, so please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video. Okay, on to the next. Next comes an artist whose sound actually inspired British musicians before being overshadowed by them. Number 8. Shannon.
Well, I know she's
Del Shannon stood out in the early 60s for his soaring falsetto and forward-thinking production style. His recordings carried an emotional urgency that separated him from many of his contemporaries. And musicians in Britain openly admired his songwriting ability. He was respected on both sides of the Atlantic before the British invasion fully erupted. Yet, admiration did not guarantee long-term dominance. When British bands began flooding American radio with guitar-driven group performances, Shannon's momentum slowed dramatically. The movement he had indirectly influenced quickly overshadowed him at home. His legacy remained strong among fellow artists, but his chart power faded as the new era reshaped pop music. Next, we return to a dance craze icon whose cultural impact once seemed unstoppable. Number 9. Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker was not just a singer. He was the face of a global dance craze that swept across America and beyond. At one point, dance records defined youth culture, and his popularity felt untouchable. But the British invasion redirected attention away from dance crazes and toward bands that wrote their own songs and played their own instruments. Checker remained a recognizable name, yet his era of dominance faded as guitar-driven groups reshaped the charts. Did the Beatles permanently change what American audiences expected from pop music? If you think so, comment yes below. From dance floors to teen idol heartthrobs, the final stretch reveals how quickly the old formula collapsed.
The blood, your feet.
Number 10. Frankie Avalon.
Surely the things I ask can't be too great.
Frankie Avalon represented the classic American teen idol at the height of the late 1950s and early 60s. Clean-cut, carefully styled, and heavily promoted through television appearances,
Beauty school dropout, no graduation.
he became one of the most recognizable young stars in the country. His image was polished, approachable, and perfectly tailored for the pre-invasion pop audience. When the Beatles arrived with shaggy hair, guitars, and a more rebellious edge, that carefully constructed formula suddenly felt outdated.
I'll always love you so. Why? Because you love me.
Youth culture began favoring self-contained bands who wrote and performed their own material. Avalon's chart dominance cooled quickly as radio programmers shifted focus toward British groups who embodied a new sound and attitude.
No broken hearts for us, 'cause we love each.
Next, we look at another teen idol whose momentum stalled just as fast. Number 11. Bobby Rydell.
I play the drum, I blow the sax, I wear guitar.
Bobby Rydell was one of the most visible faces of the early 60s teen idol era. Frequent television appearances and strong record sales made him a staple of American pop culture. For several years, he represented exactly what the industry believed young audiences wanted from a rising star. But when the Beatles ignited Beatlemania in 1964, the teen idol machine began losing its grip on youth culture. Self-contained British bands felt more authentic and exciting than carefully managed solo performers. Rydell's chart presence faded rapidly as radio formats shifted toward guitar-driven groups, marking a dramatic turning point for his generation.
I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love.
And that leads us to the final name on our countdown.
Wanna get 1,000 kicks
kiss 1,000 chicks, so turn.
Number 12. Fabian.
I'm feeling something in a breeze of air, soaring like an eagle flying through the air.
Fabian became a symbol of the late 1950s teen idol boom. Carefully styled, heavily promoted, and frequently featured on national television, he represented the polished pop formula that dominated just before the British invasion reshaped everything.
Turn me loose, I say.
His appeal was built as much on image as on musical credibility, and for a time, that strategy worked remarkably well. But when the Beatles arrived with raw energy, songwriting authenticity, and unmistakable group identity, youth culture pivoted quickly.
Like a tiger. See you smile, drive us home.
Audiences began valuing bands who played their own instruments and projected a different kind of confidence. Fabian's early momentum faded as the industry moved away from manufactured idols, closing a defining chapter in American pop history.
I've got some change in my pocket and
That completes our countdown of 12 American stars the Beatles destroyed overnight. The British invasion did more than introduce a new band to America. It redefined what stardom looked like, what pop music sounded like, and who controlled the charts. Some American artists adapted and survived. Others were swept aside in a matter of months. But without them, the musical landscape that the Beatles transformed would not have existed in the first place. Which of these stars do you think was hit the hardest? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join Retro Rewind for more deep dives into music history.
When you're on the street, you got to